Hi there. So today's reading is gonna be a bit different. I'm tapping into Michael Jackson's energy because I've been listening to his music lately a lot and watching videos about him and his life and his work. And yeah, I'm just feeling drawn to tap into his energy and see what messages want to come out. Hi, definitely it's a very intense energy. Definitely as well it's loads of love, such a bright soul, such a light to the world, lighthouse. He was a pioneer in awakening, in the great awakening, in reaching millions of souls and helping them to remember who they are, to reconnect with love, with their intuition, with feelings. His music, it's a piece of art. It's really touching the core of the soul and really awakening the divine spark. He was his soul. It's Hayoka empath. His Hayoka empaths as well in shamanism. They are a bit as well of the tricksters. They are like the jokers. His childlike side and funny, but in the same time very, very sensitive and very empathetic and able to feel the pain of the world and the pain of the children, the pain of the injustice, all the injustice that has been done in the world. So yeah, even it's like the Page of Cups, even since he was a small child, he started his soul mission, soul purpose. He chose to incarnate in very difficult circumstances, and he had victory. Have the victory and the Chariot. Yeah, he knew since he was a kid. He knew his purpose and he followed it. The Chariot, he combined everything. That's why he was able to reach so many millions of souls. Even he's reaching now. Even today, he's the greatest musicians of all times. He reached to everyone, he managed to unite people through music from so many social backgrounds, classes, races, religions. And it was so fast. He grew so fast internationally. And it's as well, if any song, but the most well-known ones, if you play and you just listen, you will see immediately, you feel something inside you. His music speaks directly to the soul. It's touching the soul immediately. It's such a beautiful energy. A lot of pain too, a lot of suffering, it took him, it was very hard for him to manage, to keep his heart open, to be an empath and not to be immune to all the injustice that was done to him. Especially that it was difficult to have all the tools, at the time, like it was more conservative, and it's not like in our days that the spirituality growth, like even when I was a kid, it was not popular, the spirituality, and I grew up as well in a religious and conservative environment. So for him, and plus having the image, the pressure, you know, of the whole world watching him and judging him, yeah, he dealt with a lot of deception and betrayal, and he just wanted to be left alone, you know, like this, his song, Leave Me Alone. He just wanted to walk away, to be able to be a person, you know, to be a human. He was saying, you know, he has interviews where he's saying, I'm human too. The world look at him as an idol, but he was human too. He had his own struggles, and especially being a celebrity since he was a kid. He didn't have time for himself to grow, to develop, to heal, to read so much trauma as well. Being through so since childhood, having such a tough father. Okay, so let's see what else it's coming out. What his soul would want to communicate. Oh, wow. So yeah, strength with 9 of Pentacles and the King of Cups. The King of Emotions, the King of Intuition. You know, he had the strength to go through it all, to feel it all, and to stay true to himself and to his soul, and to make art of it, and to make his career. You know, he managed what we think that actually he is the best example. We think that it's impossible to follow our dreams and to be sensitive and to be loving and to be strong and to be so influential and to make money out of our empathy. But he did it. He managed to do it, and he became the richest man in the music industry. So yeah, he went against all the culture, you know, even if he was like growing up in such a tough environment, and everyone around him will teach him to be strong, to be tough, to be a man, not to cry, not to show feelings. He did it anyways. He lay his life in front of the world, and who had eyes to see recognized it and loved him for that, and that's why he is who he is. Yeah, lots of controversy, lots of conflicts around him. So much conflict. They try to trash him. They try to ruin his image, to portray him in the worst image in situations possible. But he flourished out of it. He navigates them, and he filled his cup, and he managed to keep his cup full. Okay, what else? Let's see. Yeah, he's not not very talkative, you know, and yeah, out of respect as well of his private life, and to keep his privacy, which is normal. All of us, we want that, no? So I'm not going to insist over it. Just if if any final message comes out, and then I will close the reading here. But let's see, any other message, please? Final message. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The energy of the bottom of the deck, it's the Six of Cups, so childlike, and the inner child, you know, nourishing the inner child and the creativity and the purity, the innocence. And you, Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, and the Tower, you know, how he managed to be connected with his feelings, and every tower that he had the courage to move above it and to rise above it. And the Hierophant, because he was leading with his soul, connected to the source and staying true to what he knew, that it's the ultimate truth, the unconditional love and the source that will always triumph. Such a beautiful reading and message. So that's it. Have a nice day. Listen to Michael Jackson's songs.